Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm checking out a new to me game, Colony Ship, but I'm actually taking a first look via the free demo on Steam. I'm very interested in this game. I was already interested, and then it dropped on sale, so let's check it out. There are two modes in the game. Hero mode is the easy mode. You won't have to back down or worry about the odds. If that's your preferred playstyle, then this mode is for you. Underdog is the default difficulty mode integrated into the setting. The world is harsh, dying is easy, and you aren't a hero who can easily kill anyone who stands in your way. You might have to walk away from fights you can't win, make a decision a true hero wouldn't, master the combat system just to even the odds. It's the best way to experience the game. Select a pre-made character for new players. Okay, well, it's great that you can do a custom character, but let's go ahead and do the pre-made. We have what looks like a random name. Can select from male or female. It does look like they have some proficiencies. So the warrior was proficient in evasion and blunt damage. The pistolero is proficient in streetwise and critical strike, as well as the pistol. I kind of like the idea of the pistolero. What does this say here about the captain? Cult leader. I know a few of those. It's a joke. It's not a cult. Party plus 20% extra experience. Ooh, companions. Easier bonding. Can become devoted. +1 natural DR. Intelligent and charismatic. You prefer diplomacy and science to more vulgar pursuits. With high intelligence, you will level up faster and excel in more areas. With high charisma, you'll have no problem recruiting a full crew of companions and commanding them in battle, should it come to it, or avoiding combat entirely. Interesting. I didn't really think about the fact that a cult leader captain would do a better job of getting people to join their party. It could be a better choice than the pistolero. Yeah, maybe we will go with the captain. It is the year of our Lord, 2754. You will never feel the sun's warmth under a blue sky, never hear the wind in the branches of a tree, and never swim in the ocean because you had the misfortune to be born on the ship. You have never seen Earth, and you'll never see Proxima Centauri either. Your past and future both sacrificed by some dim and nameless ancestor to the greater good of the mission. Starfarer, they call her. Pretty name for a retrofitted interplanetary freighter. She had already been 20 years in service when she was rechristened and showing every minute of it. No one is certain the ship will actually reach its destination, and nobody much cares, since no one alive now will live to see it. Huh. That's a wild thought. Fatalism is the prevailing philosophy of the shipborne. Make the best life you can and consign all your what-ifs and might-have-beens to the void. Answer a few questions to define your character's beliefs and opinions while learning more about the ship. Just skip it. I don't know why you would skip that. Isn't that kind of the point of this game? The ship was launched by a neo-Christian conglomerate dedicated to establishing a religious colony on a distant world. The original 50,000 passengers, the so-called first generation, were true believers in the mission. They sacrificed whatever lives they had on Earth and demanded strict obedience to the laws of God and the ship from their children. Unfortunately, the generations that followed lacked their forebears' fervent will to sacrifice. Dissatisfaction led to open revolt against the authorities, called the Mutiny, and the mutiny metastasized into a civil war. While the mutineers dealt a decisive blow to the old order, they did not eradicate it completely. When the fires died and the smoke finally dissipated, 3 factions emerged from the wreckage of the old order: the protectors of the mission, the Brotherhood of Liberty, and the Church of the Elect, each of them promising their own version of the future. You've always thought that, so now we're asking about my character's thoughts. 1, rebelling against the ship authority was a mistake. The environment itself is hostile enough to human life, and order is always preferred to chaos. The mutineers did the right thing. Why should the shipborne blindly bow to the edicts of their centuries-dead ancestors? Though they would deny it, the mutineers were fulfilling God's will when they toppled the old order. All shipborne bent to God's will, just as all vents proceed according to his plan. So that's like a very religious person's thoughts, maybe? And then who cares? You've got enough problems right now with the fighting over history with a bunch of fanatics. Okay, personally, looking at these options, I think would set like a lot, like kind of a lot of groundwork for what's to come. But I don't think rebelling against the ship authority was a mistake, because I do think it's kind of silly to bow to the edicts of century dead ancestors. Times change. You need to like think about those changes and sometimes reflect if that means changes, right? I don't think I'd be this person. And the who cares doesn't really feel right either. So I'm going to go with 2. The mutineers did the right thing. Why should the shipborne blindly bow to the edicts of their centuries dead ancestors? In fact, you would go on to say, your beliefs and opinions may change and evolve over the course of the game as you interact with factions, groups, and various individuals. Keep in mind that actions speak much louder than words, and that saying one thing and doing another won't fool people for long. Begin your adventure. Chapter 1, The Pit. Ever since you were a kid, this has been your home. A sprawling heap of vacant cargo containers slowly getting filled up with those who couldn't afford to stay in the habitat or needed to get away from its bosses and factions. Out here, folks have lived free and died fast, with those who survive earning their keep by either diving into the wreckage of Mission Control and bringing back valuable relics of the past, or figuring out a way to make money off the fools who do the diving. Interesting. From the day it sprang up like a patch of mold on this rich substrate, the pit has been overshadowed by Jonas Redfur, the canny, cagey son of a who planted its first spike. The de facto mayor of a town with no government, Jonas holds court in the Promised Land, the pit's only brothel and the base of operations for his network. Concerned citizens banded together and hired the regulators, a mercenary gang led by Jeremiah Braxton, to keep the Brotherhood out. But now, as Braxton's gunmen swagger under the neon lights, some folks have started wondering whether it's time for the pit to get a little law and order, and whether Braxton might be the right man to wear a sheriff's star. Okay. Possibly Sheriff Braxton. Oh my gosh, the game looks so good. You open your eyes to a gray hulled metalled ceiling, one panel of which flickers yellow, indicating day shift. You overslept. Not that it matters. With a grunt, you roll off your stained mattress and open the window to let some fresh air in. Like everything else around here, fresh is relative. The ship does its best to recycle air and water, but cargo holds aren't high on her priority list. You breathe in metal and burning oil and look up. 4 of the bridge's 6 projectors are still operational, shining dully down on the container towers of Cargo Hold 3, better known as the Pit, the Free City. For the last few years, you've been doing odd jobs for Tanner, a local hustler with a nose for making money. He's never tried to screw you over, which is pretty close to being virtuous in this town. Still, there's a first time for everything. Whiskey Jack is added to the map. Meet Tanner in a nearby bar called Whiskey Jack. Don't forget your gun. You never know where it might come in handy. Rusty pipe pistol, crude bolt action pipe rifle, makeshift shotgun, or a shoddy submachine gun. Ooh. For this Ilana Captain character, I think I want to just go with number 1, a rusty pipe pistol. Let's talk to the person in the Whiskey Jack that we're supposed to meet, which is Tanner. I've got a job for you, Ilana, says Tanner, gesturing for a drink. Interested? What kind of job? An easy one. Tanner pulls a plastic rectangle from a compartment inside his sleeve, slides it towards you. The card is old and worn. The color is long faded, but the raised print on the front is still as clear as the day it was stamped. A2. That's Armory, Level 2, the holy grail of every scavenger on the ship. During the mutiny, the rebels looted every depot on the first level, but the automated defenses on the second stopped them dead, literally. These same turrets have dissuaded every scavenger since. Is this real? Is it real? Repeats Tanner, miming a look of disbelief. Girl, if you don't have the stones for it, just say so. Don't insult me. Every scav worth his salt has been searching for this card for decades. But you're the one who found it? I have my ways, Tanner's smile revealed stained, uneven teeth. You see, I wasn't looking for a long-lost access card since I'm not a fool. I was looking for Technical Officer Ulysses Colton. Tanner pauses so you can show your admiration for his savvy. Let me guess, he had the card, and you alone figured it out. We don't know who that is, so let's say never heard of them. Only 3 technical officers had access to the level 2, Tanner says, illustrating this fact with 3 dirty fingers. 2 were killed during the mutiny. Their access cards were never recovered. Possibly they were lost. Maybe they were destroyed. But the 3rd man, Ulysses Colton, was never confirmed dead. Simply vanished. I asked myself where an ex-technical officer would hide himself in such troubled times. Everyone thought the protectors of the church were the safe bets. Nobody looked for him in the Brotherhood's part of the habitat. So, how did you find him? Tanner pulls a battered energy pistol from his belt bag, passes it to you. This is his sidearm. He changed his name, but he couldn't change the serial number on his gun. Once I found the serial number, the rest was easy. His granddaughter sold the pistol 20 years ago. Are you sure the card still works? Inspect the pistol. Inspect the pistol. It's an old rust-covered energy pistol fastened with tape. Its plasma chamber hadn't seen any action in decades. Are you sure the card still works? Or you don't have any energy cells you can spare, I suppose. Let's ask if they have energy cells. Ha! Laughed Tanner. The cells are worth their weight in platinum these days. Nobody's even selling them anymore. So the supply must have all but dried out. I thought someone would have figured out how to make them by now. This supply, where does it come from? Let's ask where the supply came from. Mission Control, the old government complex that was destroyed during the mutiny. Stay clear of it, at least for now. I thought someone would have figured out how to make them by now. Figuring it out is the easy part, Tanner says dismissively. It's making them without proper materials and tools that's the hard part. Why do you think we're making firearms again? Because it's easy. Hell, they used to make them back in the Middle Ages, revolvers and whatnot. Except we use synthetic propellants. All right, and then the last question we ask them, or is queued up to ask them is are you sure that this card still works? Only one way to find out, Tanner grins in an unnerving way. Go see for yourself. When you come back, we'll have a proper conversation. All right, so here's the big question. Why me? Tanner's silent for a moment, as if deciding how honest he should be. I can't do it alone, and I don't trust anyone else. Keep the pistol. Consider it as an investment into our enterprise. It's not going to be an easy trip, so take your time to get ready, you hear me? I'd feel safer if I had someone to watch my back. Do you have any idea what might be there? I'd feel safer if I had someone to watch my back. Evans, being a gunfighter is a quick and easy way to make a living in the pit. All it takes is a gun and some guts. It's also a quick and easy way to wind up dead. But the kind of men drawn to the gun always think they're going to live forever. Evans learned the realities of his new trade the hard way the first time Evans got lucky and killed his man as he fumbled his draw. Riding high, Evans called out an old hand who put 3 bullets in his chest and left him for dead. Lucky for Evans, a stranger patched him up and he survived. But today he looks like a man whose luck has just about run out. Ilana, nods Evans. What brings you to these parts? He asks, his rifle still pointed your way. I have a job for you. A job? Evan pretends to think about it for a moment. Truth to be told, I've got a job for you too. All you've got to do is stick around and watch my back while I deal with these thugs. You do that for me, and I'll do whatever you need, no questions asked. Deal? What thugs? I don't have time for this. What thugs? Jonas sent some gun thugs to harass Abe. He nods at the storekeep. Abe here went to the regulators, but Braxton said he can't spare any men. You and I both know the bastard doesn't want to get involved, so Abe hired me to watch the store. But the son of a didn't say a word about Jonas until I agreed. I'm no coward, but I don't want to go against Jonas alone. He runs this town, for Christ's sake. Wait and see what transpires. Why did Abe go to the regulators? What does Jonas want from Abe? What does Jonas want from Abe? Money? What else? His thugs said everyone who does business in the pit has to pay taxes or pack up and go. I told Abe he should pay, but he doesn't want to listen to reason. If he wants to die, that's his business, but now I'm gonna go down with him. Wait and see what transpires. I'm not gonna leave Evans on their own, but I guess I didn't really, agree to help Evans either. The gun thugs show up around noon, a man in his 40s who moves with slow confidence, and a brash young man eager to get himself killed. You got Jonas's money, demands the kid, talking tough. The other man stays quiet, keeping his eyes on you and Evans. What money or initiative bonus? Just kill him. We chose the charismatic leader type character, so let's go ahead and talk through some situations. What money? You deaf? Asks the kid, spitting on the floor. Jonas's money. He owns the pit, so it's about time you freeloaders start paying your fair share. It doesn't have to go this way. Or kill him. It doesn't have to go this way. And which way is that? Asked the older man softly. You can see he's been counting heads and running odds while the kid's been talking. You leaving this store in a body bag? I'm gonna go with one again. We're gonna keep talking our way through it. Might not be me, says the older man, smiling. It's not a good smile. Are you willing to bet your life on it? On what might or might not happen? That's one hell of a gamble, friend. Ooh, okay. You saying we leave empty-handed? Scoffs the older man. You have a feeling he wants a way out? Apparently the kid gets the same impression. What are you talking about? Asks the kid. It's 2 against 2. Hell, I could kill both of them myself. We have the ability to use either Streetwise or Persuasion. The first option is it's 3 against 2. Abe's a lousy shot, but even he can't miss at this range. Not with that hand cannon he's carrying. So actually, it says 2 and 2. I actually have 3 in the Streetwise and 4 in Persuasion. All right, let's go ahead with the one where we have the stronger skill. We'll go for the Persuasion. And then what? Collecting tax is one thing. Killing folks over it is another. You cross that line and you'll end up dead sooner than you think. Success! Have it your way, the older man says tiredly. We're going. The kid tries to protest, but for all his talk, the only thing he shoots is a blank. Black look? Maybe a dark look on his face, I'm not sure. Wait for them to leave. You gain experience in Persuasion. We're now at a 5. Yes. Impersuasive. The door hisses shut behind the gun thugs, and Evans breathes a sigh of relief. Then gunfire erupts outside. Go take a look. Oh my gosh. Your bond with Evans now grows stronger. Evans is now content. What do we do now? Asked Evans, visibly shaken. We have to see it through, I suppose. Nothing. Why make someone else's problems our own? I don't know. I think we got to go out there and see what's going on. Let's go. It's your call, says Evans. I reckon I'll stick with you until this thing blows over. No, please join me. I was looking for a companion. Evans seems kind of like out on their luck and like someone I would love to have help me out. Welcome aboard. A moment of your time, Ilana. Okay, Abe. I don't know how to thank you, Ilana, says Abe, wiping sweat from his forehead. These ruffians, they would have killed me dead. God knows I don't have much, but I'll give you all I can spare and then some. Backed up by a few like-minded men and picking up more recruits along the way, Braxton left the church and wound up in the pit, where good fighting men are always in high demand. Around the same time, the Brotherhood had started nosing around, eager to establish a foothold here. Braxton and the regulators offered the good people of the pit their services. After much debate, they were hired to drive the Brotherhood's men out, which was accomplished with brutal efficiency. You see Braxton and 2 of his men standing next to the bodies of the gun thugs. Thank God you're alive, says Braxton, holstering his gun. When I saw them leaving the store, I assumed the worst. What happened here, or I thought you didn't want to get involved? What happened here? What does it look like? They opened fire. We returned it. Intelligence of 7. We have a 9. It says they weren't eager to draw on me, yet you expect me to believe they started shooting at you and your boys not a minute later? I kind of want to try it. I paid them to start a fight at Abe's store, not to run away the first chance they got, Braxton says nonchalantly. None of that changes the fact that the pit can use a makeover. Problem is, Jonas doesn't really run the town. He keeps Main Street nice and clean, but doesn't give a damn about the growing camp town around it. Or maybe he just doesn't know what to do about it. Either way, he'll lose control soon enough, and then what? Chaos? Gangs fighting for control? Quest added at the crossroads. I can't say I like your methods, but you do have a point here. What can I do to help that your men can't? What can I do to help that your men can't, so you're the hero we deserve? I don't like that answer, so I'm gonna say what can I do that your men can't? Quite a lot, actually. If we move against Jonas, he'll claim that the regulators are taking over, and many would side with him. We don't want that, but you're one of them. If you challenge Jonas, people will side with you. Of course, we'll stand with you, but it will be your fight. Interesting. I'm in. I'll pass. Why me? I barely know Jonas, and I don't know you at all. Let's say why me. Who else? Braxton asks loudly, making sure that everyone can hear him. You didn't look the other way when Jonas's thugs threatened Abe. You saved him because it was the right thing to do. Now I'm asking you to help us save this town. I'm in, I'll pass. I barely know Jonas, and I don't know you at all. Tempting, very tempting. Unfortunately, saving towns costs money, and I'm broke. I am broke. Hey, $250, says Braxton, as a show of good faith. Do right by me, and I will certainly do right by you. Consider me in your employ, Captain. Then talk to Jonas. Put him on notice in front of everyone. Let them all hear what you have to say. Why? Won't he know that we're coming? We aren't going to stab him in the back, Braxton says firmly. A man deserves the right to defend himself. Okay, that's fair. Honorable, I guess. What are you gonna do? Asks Evans. The right thing. We're gonna save this town. It's not our fight, but I haven't decided yet. What's your take on it? The right thing, we're gonna save this town. I think we picked a fairly, like, leading character, optimistic, not idealist by any means, but someone hopeful and optimistic about the future. So I think that we're gonna be positive, and we're gonna be a little bit of like a underdog, but wannabe hero. And we're gonna save this town or die trying. With row after row of gutted depots, the armory stretches before you as a shell of what it once was. The mutineers hit it fast and hard, and overrunning the surprise security forces and stripping it of supplies. Weapons and armor meant for the future colony flooded the ship, turning the mutiny into a full-fledged war. Stay alert, says Evans, glancing around nervously. Too many people have disappeared here lately. Figured as much when Tanner handed me the key card. He wouldn't have parted with it if he could make the trip himself. You think the key is real? Asks Evans. Okay, and then our options are Tanner thinks it's real and he knows these things better than I do. Either way, we'll know soon enough. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but since we don't have anything better to do, there's only one way to find out. This is a very interesting decision. It feels like it wouldn't impact much, and it's interesting that it likely does. Most likely, it might just affect the way Evans perceives us. Or maybe, you know, how he perceives our relationship with Tanner. How about there's only one way to find out? Oh, it says there's only way to find out. Oh. There's only one way to find out. Lead the way. Okay. Several devil frogs are tearing strips of flesh from a long dead corpse. Judging from the hole in his chest, it was a shotgun blast that did him in, not the frogs. A few years ago, you'd never see frogs outside of hydroponics, but luckily they rarely attack the living, so if you leave them alone, they'll do the same. Unluckily, they're squatting between you and the dead man's pockets, and they're not likely to move without a fight. We could definitely sneak past them. I wonder if this would be like an easy target to take out, if there would be something really worthwhile in the dead man's pockets, since that's indicated for looting. I kind of want to try. I don't know how to fight, but I kind of want to try anyway. Place your characters on the battlefield. Activate defense gadgets if necessary, and click Start Combat. Okay. Turn order, Spitter, Bullfrog, Evans, and then Ilana. Okay, I have no initiative. Awesome. The frogs look small, but so do pit bulls. Oh, awesome. Bullfrogs go for the legs, and when they knock you down, they go for the head to finish you off. Good leg armor and a helmet will make a difference. Spitters go for the eyes, an attack that can blind and poison the unprepared. Good goggles and breathers will protect you. Okay. Start combat? I guess I just start combat. Poisoned, blinded, even though I have a helmet, and critical hit, knockdown. Oh my gosh. Wow. Cool. Evans. Evans has 45%, 49% on this one. Can you do another? Yeah, you still have 10 action points, 10 AP. That one's now staggered. Not enough action points for that. Swap places, 2 action points. Oh boy. Okay, end turn plus 4 evasion. Okay, Ilana did get back up out of range. Maybe because they're too close, actually. Shoot this one, I suppose. Okay, you missed. You have to reload every time? Rolled 92. Okay. Press 4, reload. And turn, 1 evasion. Blinded again. Blinded. Oh my gosh, Ilana's gonna die. Awesome. It ain't over yet. Okay, but maybe it is. Like, we're kind of dying here. Is Ilana dead? Because if Ilana's dead... we're gonna reload. Ilana will die in 5 turns. You better hurry. Okay, well, we're probably dead anyway. Okay. Oh my god, Evans is gonna die too. Okay, we don't have any action points. We'll end turn. Place the cursor over the weapon slot to see the attacks available for the equipped weapon. Oh, regular shot, aim at the head. Short burst, reload. I see. Once you're familiar with the attacks, you can use the numeric keys to cycle through them. There are 4 different armor types: helmet, torso, arms, legs, each with its own damage resistance. Use aimed attacks to target the weak spots of your enemies. I mean, aiming at their heads would have been really good. Now we're just dead. But I learned. There it is. So this is how you die. Surrounded by these devil frogs, bred to keep pests from tearing crops on faraway Proxima. More of them must be coming now, crawling through the vents, hungry for a meal that will soon stop twitching.